In American politics, it feels like all eyes are on the big national races, right? But what if I told you that the real power, the actual control of Congress, is decided in hundreds of tiny local battles? Today, we are diving deep into the fight for the U.S. House of Representatives, where every single seat tells a story, and just a handful of votes can change, well, everything. So here's how we're going to break this down, kind of like an hourglass. We're going to start wide with the big national picture. Then we'll zoom all the way in on one specific local race to see what it really looks like on the ground. And finally, we'll zoom back out to understand how all these little individual fights actually add up to decide who runs the country.
Okay, let's set the stage. The fight for the House isn't just another political headline. It's happening in a nation that is, let's be honest, deeply divided. Political control isn't just close, it is literally balanced on a knife's edge. Let me show you the numbers.
Every 2 years, something pretty remarkable happens. All 435 seats in the House of Representatives go up for election at the exact same time. That's 435 separate contests, each with its own local vibe, its own candidates, and its own unique concerns. It's this massive, kind of chaotic, but also beautiful democratic event all rolled into one.
And this right here, this is where the national drama really kicks in. The magic number to control the House is 218 seats. As you can see, the majority party is just holding on by a thread. I mean, this isn't a comfortable lead. It's a razor's edge. A net shift of just a few seats one way or the other, and the entire power structure in Washington, D.C. could flip.
So, with the stakes this high, what does the battlefield actually look like? Let's dig a little deeper, go beyond just the two big parties, and really look at the anatomy of these 435 elections. We need to find out who's running and where the real fights are actually happening.
Get this is not just a contest between a few hundred political insiders. Over 2,600 people have thrown their hats in the ring for one of those 435 seats. That's an average of 6 candidates for every single position. It's a huge sign of just how intense the competition is to get a voice in Congress.
And you got to remember, not all of these races are created equal. In most of them, 388 to be exact, an incumbent, that's the person already in office, is running for re-election, and they usually have a big advantage. But look at those 45 districts where the seat is open. That means the person holding it is retiring or running for something else. Those are the free-for-alls, the real wild cards of this election.
This table tells a really interesting story. It shows us exactly where the parties are playing offense and where they're on defense. The Republicans are defending more of those open seats, which, puts them on the back foot a little. In total, these 47 districts without an incumbent are the true battlegrounds. This is where the money is going to be spent and where the campaigns will be the most intense because they offer the clearest path to flipping the House.
And it's not just a two-party system on the ballot. I mean, sure, Democrats and Republicans dominate, but the field includes candidates from parties all across the political spectrum. You've got the Communist Party, the Constitutional Conservatives, even the Working Class Party. It's just a fascinating reminder of the incredible diversity of ideas out there competing for a voice.
Okay, so we've seen the 30,000-foot view. Now it's time to zoom in, way in. Let's put a face to one of those thousands of challengers trying to break through. For this, we're heading down to Mississippi's 2nd Congressional District.
Wow. Meet Pertis Herman Williams III, a Democratic challenger who is not mincing words. He is not running a quiet, timid campaign, that's for sure. This quote just perfectly captures the raw confidence and, frankly, the moral urgency of a candidate who believes he is on a mission.
And the race in Mississippi's 2nd District? It's a classic political narrative. It's David versus Goliath. You have the powerful, long-serving incumbent, Benny Thompson, against the challenger, Pertis Herman Williams, an activist who's run in to shake things up. It's the old guard versus the new guard disruptor.
And when we say grassroots, we really mean it. We're talking about building a campaign from the ground up. Williams's background isn't in politics as usual. It's in community organizing. He's known for his work on super local issues, like the struggle for Lake Hyco, a fight to reopen a public lake for his community. His entire campaign is built on that same foundation, direct community action.
His campaign slogan, "Change is here 2026, really gets right to the point, doesn't it? This isn't some vague promise of change way off in the future. It's a declaration. It's saying, we've arrived. For a challenger like Williams, the goal isn't just to win an election or get a seat at the table. It's to fundamentally change the whole conversation and really build a new table altogether.
All right,
Now let's pull that camera lens back out. We've seen one local fight up close and personal, so the big question is, how does the story of one single challenger in Mississippi connect all the way back to that huge national struggle for power we started with?
It's really the core puzzle of American politics, isn't it? How can one single local contest focused on community issues and very specific personalities possibly affect who becomes Speaker of the House and what laws get passed for the whole country? Well, the answer, it lies in simple math.
And that brings us right back here. With the majority hanging by just a few votes, a surprise upset in Mississippi or in any of the other 434 districts isn't just a local news story. No, it becomes a national event. Every single one of those outcomes chips away at one column and adds to the other. And it only takes a handful of those stories to completely change who controls the agenda for the entire country.
And that, right there, is the key takeaway. The national news always talks about control of the House, like it's this single, abstract thing. But it's not. It is the simple, mathematical result of 435 separate individual elections, each one with its own candidates, its own issues, and its own story, just like the one we saw in Mississippi.
So we end right back where we started. In a nation of hundreds of millions, can one voice, one vote, or one challenger truly make a difference? When the margins are this thin, the answer seems pretty clear. The grand national outcome doesn't just rest in the hands of a few powerful people in Washington. It rests in the hands of voters, in hundreds of local fights, proving that in the battle for the House, every single race matters.